Hello and good afternoon, viewers. I'm Dr. Ali Atiq. I'm head of the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology Faculty of Pharmacy, Mahasa University, Malaysia. And today I'm back with another beautiful series of our webinar. Before we embark to our interesting webinar, I would like to detail a little bit about our faculty and the programs that we offer. Um, we offer a different range of programs starting all the way from the diploma, which is a 3-year program. First 2 years you will be taught coursework, and but in the last year the most interesting part is that you will be sent and attached to an hospital and different community pharmacies where you will learn the practicality of your course. Then comes the bachelor's of pharmacy. This is something most significant program of our faculty. It's a 4-year program, and within this program, there is a lot of industrial hospital attachments where the students have the hand-on experience with the industry, and also how to take care the patients in the clinical settings as well. There's a newer program which is the BSc Pharmaceutical Technology. Is it new? It is new, but it doesn't mean that it is not significant. It is a 3-year program, and after the completion of this program, you will be able to join any pharmaceutical industry, not only related to the production of the drugs, but also the chemicals and also the other cosmetic industries as well. And when we talk about the excellence, then we have two postgraduate programs, masters in pharmacy and masters in PhD. I think that is quite enough with the introduction of our faculty and the programs. Now let's move towards our webinar. So for today's webinar, we have Mr. Kamar with us. Mr. Kamar is currently working as a senior lecturer and a program coordinator of BPharm at the Faculty of Pharmacy, Mahasa University. He's a certified board of pharmacotherapy specialist, BCPS, from the USA, certified good clinical practice from the National Committee for Clinical Research, Ministry of Health Malaysia, and a certified Saudi Commission for health specialist from Saudi Arabia. He received his undergraduate degree in pharmacy from the University of Lahore, Pakistan, and completed a residency in the Sadiq Sadiq Hospital. He graduated from Masters of Pharmacy from University Science Malaysia in 2012. He's a registered pharmacist with the Pakistan Pharmacy Council and associate member of Malaysia Pharmacy Society. Mr. Kamar has more than 32 research articles published in the reputable journals. His expertise and research areas are smoking cessation, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and public health. He's also been awarded traveling awards for presenting his research outcome in international conferences. Mr. Kamar has appointed as a big book reviewer of ACCP, Cardiology Self-Assessment Program, and Pharmacotherapy Self-Assessment, PSAP. So without any further ado, let me invite Mr. Kamar. Sir, the floor is all yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ali, and for the wonderful brief introduction about me. And good afternoon to all the viewers, and even the good morning and good evening across the world. And good afternoon here in the Malaysia. Okay, today webinar which I'm going to talk about the sleep. And today I will let you know that why I call this one sleep as a superpower. And I hope after the end of my talk and the end of this webinar, you will also agree that I call this one as a sleep is your superpower. So this is the content which I'm going to share with you right in the today's talk. Let's begin with that. So what is the sleep and why do we sleep? Actually, sleep is a biological necessity for all the humans, all the living creatures, not even I will say the humans, even all the living creatures. And what is the sleep? Sleep is a naturally recurring state of mind and body, which is characterized by the altered consciousness. It means that our consciousness is suspension and is suspended for the time being, and there are so many body functions are restored during that time. and our voluntary muscles are inhibited, our interaction from the surrounding also inhibited, and during that time our brain is in the highly active mode. Now we see that sleep is a human need and is essential for the good health and well-being and quality of life and performing well during the day. As a human, we need the three basic things. I used to say to my the students and to my patients that we need the food, water, and air. Apart from that, once we get this that three basic things, we also need our biological needs, that is the sleep. The poor sleep quality and insomnia is a serious public health concern that may influence the quality of life and which may lead to the increase in morbidity and mortality. Let's see around the world statistic. If we see the world statistic from 1942 till 2017, in 1942, the 8 hour of sleep was the norm, meaning that the people used to sleep for 8 hours. But now we see the comparison that 2017, yeah, because I got the comparison until the 2017. Now the average sleep is 6.8 hours, which is the less than the recommended range, which is the recommended by the Sleep Foundation. And 40% of the adults sleeping less than 6 hours per night, which is the quite alarming and is a serious and silent public health concern. Now, if we see that world statistic, the data from the sleep cycle, that they have said that none of the country which managed to achieve the 8 hours of sleep, meaning that most of the people having a sleep less than 8 hours. As it is recommended, the range of sleep for an adult is 7 to 9 hours a night, meaning that an average adult they have to sleep minimum 7 hours and maximum 9 hours, even not the excess also. This highlight worrying the lack of sleep throughout the world. I have one more statistic which is done in among the 48 countries. And if you see that among the 48 countries, they have categorized the 10 countries. On my left side, that 5 countries which having an average sleep and which are considered as a worst sleepers. If you see among the 5 countries, the Japan is the one who's sleeping average sleep of human adults is zero point 0.5 hours to 59 minutes. Almost we can say the 6 hours. On my right side, if you see that these are the 5 best countries who's having the best and good sleepers. And among that 5 best countries, if you see the New Zealand, and New Zealand is the one which having where the people used to have the sleep more than 7 hours, 7 hours and 30 minutes. So meaning that none of the country among the 48 countries which managed to average sleep of 8 hours, which is quite alarming for the worldwide. And according to Global Health Relaxation Report, that more than 51% of the adult worldwide report that they sleep less sleep than they need on average night. They agree. They say that 51% they say that we get the less sleep, and 80% of the adults say that they used to sleep on the weekends. And to make it that which we I have lost during the weekdays, I will make my fulfill the sleep during the weekends. So here I want to highlight that once the loss is permanent loss. Once the time has gone, will never come back. Some people they think about that if let's suppose that if they sleep on the weekend, like so in on weekend they are getting the less sleep, like 1 hour 2 hour less sleep, they will fulfill that one on the weekend. So what you have lost during the weekdays, with what you have got the damage, it cannot be recovered back and cannot come back. He said sleep is just like a time. So once the time has gone, so it cannot be recovered back, only that you have to cover the sleep for the next day. Now we see the sleep disorder statistic among the Malaysian. So according to statistic, they have found that the 9 out of 10 Malaysian, like 89%, suffer from one or more sleeping problems. Among, if we see that among all this one category, that adults, young adults between 25 to 29 years, there's 63% of they reported that they have the sleep problem. The sleep problem could be anything like the sleep apnea, or is because of the sleep latency and awakening of the last. Then among later than that 46% they wake up in the middle of the night. This is also one of the sleep problem. If some people they have the more frequent wake up in the middle of the night, they will not get the good quality of the sleep. The same like it, they have the tired and unrest in the morning, the feely sleepiness among the sleep during the day, and snore. The snore is one of also the one of the problem which contribute to 29% and which cause uh, contribute to the sleep problem. And here I want to highlight the quotation of Don Posner. There's a thing of a sleep problem as infectious, and he is more emphasizing, and he is head of the Sleep Wellness Foundation. He said that take the sleep problem as a serious concern and think about this is an infectious disease. And we don't know that when we don't have the enough sleep, there are in the back of in our body that so many things are happening which we don't know, which we will realize after the few years of that outcome. The sleep disorders statistic, another common sleep problem experienced in 1 in 4 nation, that is the difficulty of sleep. And 4 in 10 Malaysian take more than 30 minutes to fall asleep. This means that they take an average more than 30 minutes to fall asleep. If the good sleepers and the good quality of sleep, they don't need the 30 minutes. And 50% of Malaysian rate their sleep quality as an average. And 35% Malaysian face sleep problems once or twice a week. And 20% Malaysian face a sleep problem 3 or 4 times in a week. Again, I'm going to highlight one quotation from the Don Posner. He said that if you can't sleep, do not try to force it. Good sleepers put no effort into the sleep whatsoever. If if you are not getting in this fall into sleep, you just wake up from the bed and do some other activity and then come back and sleep again. Don't try to force to sleep it. Okay, I'm going to also highlight the one of the serious pandemic which we have the 2019 COVID-19. During that night, big outbreak, the many people they get anxiety and they got the depression, the stress, and because of the lockdown, and some people they get the stress because of the loss of the family members, and some people were stressed because of their financial situation, some lost a job, and some are concerned with the health, and some were with this concern that once you get the COVID-19, that's is finished, that you will be died. So these are the things which make contribute to the self sense of anxiety and the fears. Among all this, one stressful, and then the government also implement the lockdown. They also implement the social distancing, which make the people feel isolated and lonely. And all these together contribute to stress and anxiety. And one of the factor of the sleep, poor quality of sleep and cannot be sleep is the stress and anxiety. And during that phase also, it happened the same thing. COVID-19 outbreak that there are so many things is that people are worry about it. Among that, one of the thing was the change in sleep pattern and eating pattern. COVID-19 and sleep. What is the link that after the emerging outbreak of that the COVID-19 that the sleep the emerging as the latest casualty of the COVID-19 crisis. After that COVID-19 crisis, sleep is also become one of the latest casualty. Too many sleepless nights can aggravate both physical and mental health problems. So later I will share with you that what are the problems and what are our system will be affected if we get not enough sleep. Now we see that when there was a COVID-19 pandemic, that it has turned the worldwide upside down. Everything was disturbed. The life routine was disturbed. Some are concerned with their health. Some are concerned with their livelihood, their family members to take care of them. And then apart from that, the government have implemented lockdown that you cannot travel it and you have to stay at home. The people feel like they are isolated and they become anxious. So it affect the sleeps because it contribute the stress. So there was a global sense of anxiety at that time everywhere, and so people are just seeing that breaking news. They hear the how many people are died from COVID-19. So we cannot prevent from that news if we wish to do it, because some in the newspaper, the family members are talking about this. There was only the one topic, the hot topic for, and it was trending on all the news and newspaper and family members. That is the COVID-19, the how many it is spread and how many people die. So people was in the stress phase and people was in the anxiety, which caused their sleepless night. The purpose of the sleep is like when we sleep that our body restore the immune system, meaning that if we don't get enough sleep, our immune system will become weak. Our nervous system will also become the weak. So when we sleep, our immune system will restore, nervous system will get restarted, skeletal system will get restored, revitalized, and muscular system. Other than that, the cognitive function, it will maintain the good mood, memory, and cognitive functions. The main effect of sleep deprivation, like if we don't get the enough sleep, maybe if continuous habit, if a person is used to sleep and 5 or 6 hours and continues from the same habit, so there are three main effects can be happen: physical effects, mental health complication, and cognitive. What are the physical effects? Like the person will become fatigued, the cardiovascular disorders, the hypertension and cardiovascular arrest, metabolic disorders, people become the obesity, and that it can also contribute the onset of the diabetes. If we see the mental health complication, the stress, anxiety, and depression. Now, if we see the scenario like person who is already diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and if he don't get enough sleep now, it will contribute more and it will exacerbate the anxiety and depression more. If we see the cognitive impairment, what will happen in the cognitive? The concentration, the person concentration will be loose. He cannot concentrate, he cannot grab the knowledge, his intellectual capacity will also decrease, and moreover likelihood to be car accident, so which is one of the factor in around the world that micro sleep and which may contribute to the high level of the car accident and even during the working. So here I want to show you one picture that if you see on the right side, the person look very young and person their facial, if you see the skin texture is also very good. And on the left side, same person where because of the skin texture and there's not freshness than eye because of the sleep deprivation. And here I want to tell you our sleep having a four main stages. The first three stages we call as a non-rapid eye movement, and the last stage, stage four, is we call as a rapid eye movement. So in different stages, different things happen into our body, and the fourth stage is the one which is the we called as a in which the brain is in the 99% is active, and our body is paralyzed and immobilized. The stage one we call as a nodding off, which is only lasts for 5 to 10 minutes. So this is the transition period between in which the person, they sleep start. So this is just a minor that if someone if there is any noise, if someone called person, the person can be wake up. The second stage of the sleep we call as a light sleep. So what happened during this phase, which lasts for 20 to 30 minutes, in which our body temperature drops, our heart rate drop, our brain begin to produce the spindles. Here the spindles mean that the energy or our brain start to produce some spindles which last for 20 to 30 minutes. The third stage is still the stage 1, 2, 3 is a non-random eye movement. The stage 3 is we call as a deep sleep. In this sleep that your muscles become relaxed, your blood pressure and breathing rate drops, and you go into the deeper sleep occurs. So finally the stage 4, which we call as a rapid eye movement sleep. In this phase of the sleep, that this is called as a deepest sleep, and the person goes in that deep and their eye are randomly and fastly they moving. Brain become more active, body become relaxed and immobilized. It is just like a body becomes paralyzed. and most of the dreams which occur in this phase. So the dream which if the person get in the stage 1, 2, 3, which that will not be last long. Maybe the person forget about what the person have the dream during that period. But the dream which you have in the stage 4, it will be in your memory. In the early morning next day, you can still remember that what dream you have seen and what came into your mind. And this one we call as a rapid eye movement, because our eye is rapidly moved from left to right, top, bottom, because our brain is working in a high spindle fibers and energy. Okay, according to National Sleep Foundation, they have given some recommended range duration sleep, which is the, if we see the adult age between 18 to 25 years, and young adult 18 to 25 years, and the adults 26 to 64 years. Their average sleep, they have to sleep the minimum 7 years and maximum 9 years, or 9 hours. Sorry, not years, 9 hours. So 6 is not recommendable, and 10 to 11 is, you can say that may be appropriate, but the and below 6 is not recommended. The recommended is 7 to 9 hours. Same like the young, the preschool and toddler infants, they need the more time hour sleep, like 12 to 15 hours, because they are still infant, their bodies are still developing, their organs are developing, their skeletal muscles, their nervous system, their cognitive function, they are still developing. They need the more sleep so that they can have the more good development of their mind and the body. The sleep deprivation, what is the sleep deprivation? Basically, is a sleep loss. Any significant loss of sleep which result in the problem in concentration and irritability. Like if we are deprivation of sleep, we cannot focus it, we cannot concentrate it, and even we cannot grab the new knowledge. The symptoms of sleep deprivation is like trembling hands, inattention, the staring off into the space, the drooping eyelid, and general discomfort. Many people they consider the sleep is just a time of waste. If I sleep only 4 hours, 5 hours, it should be fine. So there's a wrong perception. There is a wrong myth. They think that the sleep is waste of time. They are the wrong. So sleep is your biological necessity for your body. Your body need to sleep, and I will share the few more the research. So during that sleep, what are the things happen, and we need to sleep. Sleep loss affect every system of the body. Like we see the reproductive system. Men who sleep an average of 4 to 5 hours per night, they have significantly small testicles and testosterone level at that age them 10 years. Similarly, change happen in the female reproductive system. Now, if you see the cardiovascular system, even the small reduction in the sleep, it will increase the risk of heart attack. Like the British researcher discovered that the person who sleep less than 5 hours sleep, it will double the risk of death from cardiovascular disease. It means that those person or who are having a sleep less than 5, so they are the 2 times more likely to get the cardiovascular disease. It could be the heart attack, it could be the cardiac arrest, and it could be the hypertension also. The research show that 24% increases the heart attack in small reduction of sleep duration, and 21% decreases in the heart attack which linked with the extra hour of sleep. Like mean if you manage to sleep 6 and 7 hours, so it will decrease the 21% risk of heart attack. Now we can see the sleep loss and the brain. The lack of sleep, the 40% deficit in the ability to learn. Like you will lose the 40% of ability to learn the new things, and because of the less sleep, and you cannot create the new memories. It could not it could be the difference between acing and failing an exam. There is also have been research done that the students who have a sleep less than 6 hours, they manage to get the less grade in an exam as compared to the students who used to have the sleep more than 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours. 5 or fewer hours of sleep 3 days in a row can damage or kill the brain cells. Even eventually, the brain won't be able to clear out the plaque-forming protein caused the Alzheimer and dementia. Actually, there's still the research has been going on the Alzheimer and dementia that, and they believe that there is one of the protein which can contribute the plaque, form the plaque in our brain and which contribute to the Alzheimer and dementia. And if we want to clear off that plaque, we need to have the sleep. And during that deep sleep, our brain will produce the sharp ripples, and due to that sharp ripples, it will clear that plaque forming protein which prevent from the Alzheimer and dementia. According to Matt Walker, it's almost as a tough sleep deprivation had shut down your memory inbox, and any new income files they were just being bounced back. He meaning to say that if you have the sleep deprivation, your memory box will be shut down, meaning that any new files or any new learning or any new things coming in your mind, it will bounce back. You cannot retain it. You cannot create the memories. You cannot learn the new things. Now you can see that the aging, especially for those who want to look the good, even they have the more aged, the sleep loss and aging. Even we have seen that some people their age is less, but they look so elder. Even some people we have seen that their age is more, but they still look they're young. So there are so many factors, but one of the factors is also the sleep, which make you look older and faster. Sleep deprivation may cause puffy skin, dark circles under your eyes. Sleep may be able to improve the memory deficient due to the age-related dementia and Alzheimer's disease. The cause of dementia, Alzheimer's disease is still unknown, but there is the theory that they said one of I mentioned just now, the plaque-forming protein, which can be cleared off when we have the deep sleep, and even that if you have the good sleep, it will improve your memory deficit, which is going to be happen because of the dementia and Alzheimer. Immune system, which is also very important, is which prevent our body to fight against the bacteria and the virus, and sleep deprivation will wears down your immune system, meaning that your immune system will become weak and you will be more prone to have the viruses or bacteria, and you can easily get allergic, or you can easily get with infected with the bacteria and virus. It's more difficult, your body will fight off virus and diseases. After only a single night of 4 hours sleep restriction, meaning that if you just sleep for 4 hours, meaning that you have lost the 3 to 4 hours, there is a measurable 70% drop in natural killer cells. These are the white blood cells which will fight against the antigen. Immune cells that recognized and destroy unwanted foreign bodies, including the cancer cells. Now there is a great association relationship. We have found that lack of sleep and cancer is now strong. Now even the World Health Organization and more of the organization, even you have the cancer, if you have any metabolic disorder, they will advise you to have the good sleep. They will advise to have the good quality of the sleep. Otherwise, it will contribute, exacerbate your disease, and it contribute to the more decrease your immune system, prone to have the more toxicity or side effect of even the drugs or even also that disease. Now we see the genes, the sleep loss and genes. Sleep restriction of just 2 hours per night, so total duration of 6 hours per night instead of 8 hours per night for 1 week. If you have the two deficiency of 2 hours of sleep per night for 1 week, it will change your activity of 711 genes. You can see that only the 2 hours deficient, only for the 1 week, 711 genes are affected. Their activities will be changed. 711 genes, we 711 genes all related to your circadian rhythms, your metabolism, your inflammation, your immune response, and stress. Okay, here one more interesting fact about the sleep loss and weight gain. There was a myth and a perception that the people say that if you sleep more, you will gain the weight, but it's wrong. Basically, sleep loss, you will get the weight gain. Sometimes some patient they come and ask that we have very good diet and we used to restrict our diet, but still I am not unable to reduce my body weight. So very first thing I ask from them that your sleep pattern, how many hours do you sleep? Because the sleep deprivation causes your body to work against you. Those who were sleeping less than 6 hours per night were 30% more likely to gain the weight and become obese than those sleep 6 to 9 hours. Because our body have the you can say the hormones, the leptin and ghrelin, that which are responsible to regulate the fat storage, to use the fats, and ghrelin which are stimulate your hunger. If you have the sleep deprivation, the level of these two hormones will be disturbed. If it is disturbed, your body will not utilize the fats properly. Your body will not regulate the fat storage properly because of the disturbance in the leptin hormones, and same like ghrelin, the hormone which stimulate the hunger. Otherwise, the disturbance, this one, it will stimulate your hungers in a off timing and on and off timing. This is one of the factors. The ghrelin level will increase, the leptin level will decrease. It means that your body will not utilize the fat properly, and even your body will stimulate and eat more. Okay, another thing that shorter sleep, shorter life, meaning that if you're getting the less sleep, you're making your life short. The sleep deprivation shorten your life expectancy. Sleep deprivation is contributing factor to death for particular age group, regardless of cause of the death itself. And sleep is your life support system. Getting more sleep makes you more healthier. So there are some health issue which is linked with the sleep deprivation, like we have seen the skin, your mood disorder, your heart health, your immune system, your cancer risk, your cognitive functions, and apart from that, there are negative emotions like depression, the way the person become the anger, the short temper, the sadness and fear is all because of the sleep deprivation. There's one more non-health issue is the motor vehicle accident. Nowadays, many organizations, even the sleep institution and even the institution, they are giving a public health awareness message about the vehicle accident. And it is also the proven that the drivers who get 6 hours of sleep or less than 30, less, they are the 33% more likely to have the accident on the road compared to those who get 7 or 8 hours of sleep. Because when you have the deprivation of sleep, it will make you the micro sleep. Micro sleep is that you just sleep for just 15 to 20 seconds or 30 seconds. So it's very dangerous when micro sleep happens while you are driving. If you are at home, it's fine. If you are in your sitting position, it's also the fine. It's not very dangerous too. But if you are driving the car and if you get the micro sleep, it's a dangerous, because within the few seconds of this micro sleep, which can cause the accident. Driving, according to Sleep Foundation, they say that the deprivation of sleep is just like driving a car with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.05%. It's just like that those who are having a deprivation of sleep and those who are driving with a drinking alcohol concentration of 0.05% is almost the same. So what will the effect on children? The research suggests that sleep is even more critical for adolescents as their body and brain are experiencing rapid growth and development. Just now I mentioned that they are in the developing phase and their brain are still in developing, their organs are developing, they are more critical for them. The lack of sleep in developing children have demonstrated deficit in cognition and deficit in working memory and attention. They will lose the capacity of learning the knowledge. They will lose their learning ability. They will lose their attention and focus. Okay, the deprivation of the sleep, which also have effect on the students, university students and college students. The sleep deprivation and poor sleep quality are particularly prominent in the young adults and college students. So there is also the research shows that there is a relationship between the poor sleep quality and lower academic performance. Those who are having a poor quality of sleep, their academic performance is low as compared to those whose quality of sleep was good and they got the good higher performance. And effect on the shift workers, especially those who are working in a night shift and sometimes day shift, their sleep are disturbed. So such type of the individuals, they will be less ambitious. They will lose their productivity. They cannot produce the quality of the work, and they cannot have the good quantification of the sleep. Sleep loss impair the performance on cognitive tasks, especially the memory, learning, and logical reasoning. Even it has also been shown that the deprivation sleep also have the relation with the mental health. Like it will experience mood disorders, anxiety. Insomnia can be either a risk factor for or symptoms of mental health condition. Treating insomnia can improve the symptoms of mood and anxiety. Sometimes we no need to have to treat the anxiety first. We no need to have to treat the depression first. First, we have to change our lifestyle and habit. If we are the deprivation of sleep, we will suggest, okay, first have a good sleep maybe for 1 month, and then we will see that. Sometimes it happens that people they get the depression, anxiety because of the lack of the sleep and sleep deprivation. They start the doctor they start diagnosing about the giving the depression or anxiety. Before that, we have to see the sleep pattern as well. So here are I'm sharing some tips like 9 ways to improve your sleep quality. Sleep in a dark room, because when we sleep in the dark room, our brain secrete the hormone, the melatonin, which will induce the sleep. So this is the natural that these hormones will not be secreted when it is a daylight. When it is a dark, it will secrete it. So that's why they encourage to sleep in a dark room, walk daily, and read before the bed. Like if you read before you going to sleep, maybe you have the good way to sleep. Actually, here just I shared with my students that if you're having a sleeping problem, if you feel that you have insomnia, I ask them open the notes. So once you open the notes, you will start inducing the sleep, and you will be having. So here they say the read before the bed, meditate daily, do some exercise, regular exercise, or meditate daily mean that breathing exercise, breathing pattern. Limit your caffeine intake, especially the coffee or the tea. Have a hot bath. Fill up on the magnesium and zinc. The deficiency of these two electrolytes will also affect your sleep. And make time to sleep. Make the time like if you have the set time that 11 o'clock you have to sleep or 10 o'clock you have to sleep, follow the same pattern. So every day you go for the same time. Make the time to sleep. So general tip, just now I have shared again that go to the bed and wake up at the same time. Even if the weekend also wake up at the same time. If your habit is on weekday you wake up at the morning 6 a.m. On weekend also wake up at the 6 a.m. Avoid caffeine intake and expose yourself to bright light in the morning. Make sure your bedroom is conducive to sleep, is a dark and comfortable and is cool. Sleep on the comfortable mattress and pillow. Don't go to the bed feeling hungry, otherwise it will not let you to sleep. Develop a relaxing routine. Reserve your bedroom for sleeping only. Exercise regularly during the day and don't have the pets in your bedroom. The conclusion, I would say that sleep is not the optional lifestyle luxury. Sleep is a non-negotiable biological necessity. If you negotiate by yourself or negotiate by the nature that, okay, if today I won't sleep, tomorrow I will take the 10 hours of sleep. So once which you have lost the 1 day of sleep, it will the permanent loss. Once the time goes, will never come back. The decimation of sleep in industrialized nation is a silent sleep loss epidemic that is becoming one of the greatest public health challenges we face in the 21st century. I would say this is the silent and sleep loss epidemic. So here I thank you for all, and I will end my talk with the saying by my quotation that if you are not getting enough sleep, you are killing yourself, maybe intentionally or non-intentionally, or knowingly or unknowingly. You don't know what's happening in your body, and you are losing your immune system. You are losing your uh, making your risk in the cardiovascular disease. You are disturbing your hormones, the leptin and ghrelin. You are disturbing your. You are more prone to have the obesity. So many things you are losing your cognitive function. You're losing your memory function. So that's the reason I say that if you are not getting enough sleep, you are killing yourself. And one more thing, when we sleep, our body make the even the red blood cells. Our red blood cells are is produced and which will circulate into our blood circulation. Here I thank you. And if there are any question from anyone, any viewer and audience, yes, Dr. Lee.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kama. It was a brilliant presentation, and even I have learned something new about the micro sleep. I didn't know that this is a kind of a term which actually exists. And definitely, I hope this presentation my students have not listened to, because then they will be telling me about all the benefits of sleeping and not studying. Jokes apart. Okay, jokes apart. So the thing is there any question? Please, viewers, you're more than welcome to ask any question directly from Mr. Kamal right now. He will be more than happy to answer your questions. Um, I have a question, Mr. Kamal. Since you are the senior lecturer of the clinical pharmacy, do you teach any of these aspects in any of your module or in your coursework regarding the sleep or the benefits of sleep?
Okay, usually we teach as a component the lifestyle modification. Like if patient having some disease, so first we advise them to treat with a lifestyle modification. We call as a non-pharmacological treatment. So in
Mm,
the non-pharmacological treatment, we see that there is like we can do like patient to change their habit lifestyle, or maybe change their eating habit, maybe change their sleeping pattern. So
mm,
like this we teach them, like it's separately the separate component of sleep deprivation is not such things. But I
mm,
always encourage to my students like we have a good quality of sleep. And even I have seen in some research that some countries they prefer to have the nap after the lunch, because
mm,
they believe that the people who have the nap after the lunch of the 30 minutes, their body will restore and they are ready for to get the more
mm,
knowledge for the next 2 and 3 hours.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
that's why it's
mm.
not the separate full component of a sleep, but
I
it is the
understand.
component under the non-pharmacological management.
And for our viewers, just to make you informed, non-pharmacological interventions are all this in which the drug treatment is not being used, but still have benefits on, I must say, from all the way from the cancer to the insomnia, all of them. They have the benefits in the range of the diseases. Mr. Kama, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us, with me, with my viewers, and thank you everyone for tuning in. And next month, we will come up with another interesting webinar. Till then, take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.